what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is what you've been waiting for. Addison Fox is off the leash. This is the fantasy formula. There's no music here. There's no Chatty's introduction. There's no Boys to Men. There's no NSYNC. This is fantasy football, ladies and gentlemen. Raw fantasy football. Thank you, Hank. Let's get right to introductions. First, I'd like to introduce our producers. The man with all the skills on the soundboard, Chris Magic Hands Fry. Chris, that baby. I also want to give a shout out to our other executive producer who came in here and felt like she had her feelings hurt because Chad, I guess her and Chad have had some history. I'm not quite sure, but Mary Margaret Breaker. We'd like to give a little shout out to Mary Margaret since she kind of owns the place. Chad, not too smart. Anyway, but ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the nitty gritty. We have a special guest, Chad. We'll get to Chad here in a little bit. He is obviously, his absence is felt but not missed. We have a special guest in the studio today. One of our friends, he has been known around many fantasy leagues as the Notre Dame of fantasy football. Ladies and gentlemen, Hank Eimer.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hank, it's a pleasure to have you here.
It's great to be here. I'm sorry I have to be here under this,
I'm not.
circumstances.
Oh, I don't care. As long as Chad's not here and you're here, it's fantastic. I'm really having a little trouble. I generally have a little sound machine on my iPad, which you folks, since we have surpassed, I think, almost 6,000 downloads, the fastest growing podcast in the nation.
It's impressive.
It really is. I mean, we're broadcasting out of the biggest little town in North America, the metropolis of Western North Carolina, Hickory, the furniture capital. That's right. We put it on the map.
Putting it on the map.
Furniture, coaxial cable.
Podcasts.
Come on, people. You can't beat it.
I dig it.
Well, look, we're going to get right into it. We're going to talk about the games this week. We're going to change it up this week since this is my show. I'm sitting in the big boy chair this week.
You look formidable.
I do. I mean, Chad doesn't give me my props. I know he's laid up right now. He's going to be listening to this podcast as he's laid up. Chad had surgery yesterday. We wish him the best, but hope he takes him forever to get back. Got
to watch out for that dance move.
No,
he says it was basketball.
It's karma. Any person who names a basketball team that you're on, the torn ACLs, I'm sorry, it's karma. I'm not saying, look, I don't wish that on anybody. But come on, really?
It wasn't thought out.
No, it was not thought out at all. The torn ACLs, and lo and behold, he tore his ACL.
Yeah. So,
Chad, I know you're laid up at home. Jennifer's probably smacking the hell, probably sick of you already after a half a day. But good luck, Daddy. Hope you get better, and we'll talk to you soon.
Snuggle up, buddy.
Yeah, snuggle up. We're going to do something. We're going to change the format up a little bit this week. We're going to go through the games. We're not going to do the lines. Chad, I know some people like the lines. Look, you need a parlay card, come get me. We'll talk about lines. But we're going to go through the matchups this week, Hank and I. And we're going to talk about some fantasy players in those games. Because these are the weeks, people, they're going to make and break your fantasy season.
Got to get to playoffs.
You got it. This is where the playoff push starts. You can pick up some easy wins because if you drafted right and had a good bench, these bye weeks will not affect you.
Right.
Now, your point total is going to drop a little bit, but you're still going to put up a significant amount of points to get the W, and that's what counts right now.
Still got to work the waiver wire.
You still got to work the waiver wire.
There's some good people out there. Right?
There's some good ones, and we'll get to that later on today. But let's get right into it. We're going to start with the matchups this week. First, Thursday night game, Buccaneers-Vikings. The Bucs coming off a loss, 35-28. Heartbreaking loss. I had Mike Williams. I thought the rule was if you established contact back in bounds, it was a touchdown. So I rode the emotional roller coaster, excited, smacking on my friend like, I beat you, I won't care. And then no touchdown.
No touchdown. And then it happens to Vincent Jackson in the back of the end zone.
I know.
Heels out.
Well, the heels are out. But Mike Williams, he literally got pushed.
Right.
And came back in, which I thought in the end zone you could. I thought that I was.
It sounded confusing. Even the announcers were confused.
I mean, I think so. And I really think the refs I guess that's the rule. Maybe if somebody wants to email in and clarify the rules for us. We thought we knew everything about football, but that rule, it seemed a little, I don't know. I don't think they really knew what's going on in the game. Needless to say, the Bucs lost. The Bucs are playing, they're traveling to Minnesota to play the Vikings, who are coming off a 21-14 win. Hank, what do you think about this matchup?
I got to say, I like what Freeman's doing down in Tampa Bay.
I do too.
I like him.
I said last week he threw up 2 touchdowns last week. He put up good solid numbers. It's a good alternative for your quarterback situation.
I like him. I like the Bucs as a young quarterback. I feel like he's doing what needs to be done. He's got a good receiving core around him.
The Williams and Vincent, you're right.
I do like them. But, 5-2, the Vikings. Can't deny them. And Adrian Peterson,
he appeared
to be in front of that man.
I'll tell you what, Adrian Peterson has had a resurgence. I'll tell you what, I like what Christian Ponder's doing. Nothing flashy, getting the job done. You know what, I like Minnesota right now. Their defense, they're in home of the Dome. You can't go wrong when you're home of the Dome. I don't know why I said that twice. I think it's because it sounds good when it rhymes. I like Minnesota's matchup, and I think Adrian Peterson's going to run wild.
I think he is
on that
too.
Bucs defense.
I think he is too. But at some point, somebody's going to stop Adrian Peterson. Somebody has to, and there's not enough weapons on that field.
That's right. All right, move right along. Next matchup, we have the Dolphins-Jets. Dolphins coming off a bye week. We'll travel up to New York to the Jets, who are coming off a 29-26 heartbreak loss. Hank, what do you think of this matchup?
I think the Jets are a nightmare. I think it is a cluster up there.
Trouble in paradise.
I think it's a cluster up there. I think ESPN is loving it because it is such a joke.
It's like it's ESPN's own reality show.
It is. I mean,
what are the headlines going to be for the Jets this week?
Tebow will start at center this week. I mean, it's going to get to the point.
Tebow's kicking field goals. He's going to be up in the box, calling offensive plays.
They are putting a square peg in a round hole. They just need to figure out their offense and just kind of stick with it. And they looked okay last week. I mean, that's the thing. But I just cannot get over these gimmick offenses.
Well, I'll tell you what. The big news coming out of New York this week. This is huge. Are you, Chris, Hank? You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Mark Sanchez and Eva Longoria broke up. That's about the only. That's the only fantasy I can think of right now. It has nothing to do with football. Let me tell you,
Tebow took his girl. That's going to be the real headline.
Look, there's a lot of stuff going on with this game. I think Reggie Bush will have a heyday against his Jets defense. I think there'll be a lot of points scored in this game, but right now I think there's not a lot of upside. You have, I think Hartline with the matchup with the defensive back will be prone to have a good game. Devon Best as well. Dolphins come a bye week. We'll have some fresh legs. I'm liking Dolphins' matchup.
I do too.
Moving right along, Chargers Browns. Chargers also coming off a bye week are going traveling to Cleveland, the home of the Browns, who's coming off a 17-13 loss. I tell you what, I was so optimistic with last week. I thought if you're a fantasy holder of Montario Hardesty or Trent Richardson. Trent Richardson came into last week's game wearing a flat jacket. I swore there was to be a ton of rushing yards against this Indianapolis Colts defense, who is despicable. A couple years ago, you had the Dwight Freeney led, and which he's still there, but you had some more prominent names, and you didn't want to run. You didn't want to face the Indianapolis Colts defense.
Right.
They had a good pass rush. That's not the case now. But I will give them last week. They showed up and shut down. And Cleveland's the only thing. Whedon's been doing fairly well, but they shut down 2 decent running backs. Montario Hardesty is one of those guys that you'll stick him in there and you'll out of nowhere, he'll throw up 200 yards. Who's this guy? Right. I mean, where did he come from? Trent Richardson, a little dinged up, but still, I think he put up 2 fantasy points as well as Montario Hardesty. In this matchup, a Chargers come up by. I think Chargers, Ryan Williams got a little breather. Philip Rivers, hopefully guys head together. I think the Chargers are going to roll in this game. Hank, tell me about it.
I think you're exactly right. I think the Chargers are kind of waiting to be woken up. I think that they've got still a ton of weapons with Gates Ryan Matthews back, and I think
Gates, bust. God, he's been a fancy.
I know,
bust.
but I mean, at some point, he's too good of a talent. He's too good of a talent to sit here and be 3-3.
I agree.
So I think that it's going to be a breakout game for them. I think they're going to probably figure it out and realize that if they don't do it now, they could miss the train on the playoffs.
I agree with you, Hank. I agree with you totally. All right, moving right along. Let's talk about where is it? Where am I? My notes
Colts.
here. The Colts and Titans.
Yep.
The Colts coming off a win. We talked about earlier, 17-13, and the Titans coming off a win, 35-34 over the Bills. But the story of this one, here's the story. Can Chris Johnson put back-to-back games like he did?
The Bills made him look like the Chris Johnson of 2 years ago. And I'm not putting that on Chris Johnson.
We saw the 4-3. We saw the 4-3 speed.
That's the Bills. That's their issue.
That's true.
Chris Johnson has not done this in the last 2 years. I still don't believe in Chris Johnson yet. I'm not buying it just yet. Okay.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Okay.
I am totally picking up what you're putting down.
The Bills made him look great last week, and I'm not sold on him yet.
I'm not either, and I think a lot of people, with other options, I guarantee I would love to see. There's no stats out there. I mean, he's 100% owned. If you look on ESPN and some other sites, he's 100% owned. But some other people probably thought the same thing. They're like, man, what's he going to do?
Right.
He looked like Chris Johnson. Oh, he was running north-south instead of east-west. He was hitting holes. He was not doing his little juke and dance around.
He looked awesome.
He looked fantastic. Now, going up against this Colts defense that shut down a rookie running back and somewhat of a veteran running back with hard to see. I think he can. I think with this matchup, could be the springboard to get Chris Johnson where he needs to be with this run against this Colts run defense. As far as fantasy points go, I don't think Locker's back this week. I haven't heard. I've been checking some sites to try to find out some injury reports on Locker. But right now, I think Hasselbeck's still the man. I see some fantasy points this game. You need to make some judgment calls. Look at the matchups. The Colts secondary is a little banged up, so Titans receivers could be a commodity. I'm liking Titans this game. I think Titans will cover. Last time I looked, which I looked on my parlays, people, it was a 4-point spread. I'm going to like Titans to cover this one. All right, moving right along. Pats, Rams. Pats coming off a big win. Well, I wouldn't say big win. It was because they won in overtime. 26-29 over the Jets. They'll be playing. They're traveling to St. Louis to play the Rams, who coming off a 20-30 loss. Hank, who you think?
It's hard to bet against Brady. That guy he knows when there's blood in the water, he just starts to perform, and that's what he's going to start doing. He's going to be picking apart defenses, and St. Louis does not have that answer.
The glue to New England right now is my boy, Danny Woodhead. Yes, I'm saying it right here. He is the most solid player they have. He's consistent. You know he's going to catch it out of the backfield. You know he's going to get on third down. He's the biggest little man in the NFL. I love some Danny Woodhead.
Well,
go D2 school. D2 schools.
With that being said,
okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. How do you get my little Danny Woodhead?
Tom Brady.
Okay, we'll get back to it.
He's going to take them to victory. It's not going to be Danny Woodhead's 4 points. It's going to be Brady's 45.
I like the Pats covering the Rams. I will say the Rams probably have one of the most intimidating secondaries in the NFL. I mean, their DBs are gargantuous. Is that any word?
Spell it.
No, I love the Rams secondary, but I think the Pats, the experience of the Pats receiving core is one that you got Hernandez, Gronk, right. Wes Welker, you got Woodhead, Ridley, Ball. I think Bolden's still. You can keep going on and on. Brandon Lloyd. I mean, it's sick. It should almost be illegal.
The Pats got to learn. They've got to figure out how to stop somebody though, because to let the Jets come in.
I think they're 29th or 28th in rushing defense.
They've got to learn how to stop somebody. So if they learn how to stop somebody, I mean, you can only beat Oregon so long. You can't put up right. 60 every game.
Right.
And so they've got to figure out how to stop somebody so that they could win a 21-14 game opposed to a 35-30 game.
I agree with you, Hank, on that. I think there are a lot of fantasy points. If you got anybody on New England, start them. St. Louis, it's been a merry-go-round of the receivers. Danny Amendola. Yeah, that was. You got Danny Amendola. You got Givens. I mean, you've had this different sightings, different people. I tell you, my sleeper, and this is somewhere we'll get to this later, is my boy Daryl Rich. He's the third down back, but Steven Jackson is almost. I look at Steven Jackson as a tiered down, a scaled down Ryan Matthews. Always hurt, always something wrong. There's something going to go wrong. Daryl Richardson is a good man to have your bench. Even in his third down back, he produces. So with the bye weeks coming up, he's last time I looked on the ESPN, he was only 20% owned in all their leagues. He's probably 80% of the time he's going to be out there. Right. Pick him up. If people, I tell you what, he's a good style back for later on. And you know what, Steven Jackson hasn't lasted a whole year in a long time. I think he's going out a couple weeks. It's a good style pickup on the waiver wire. But I like the Pats to beat the Rams. All right, moving along. We got Jacksonville traveling to the frozen tundra. Jacksonville coming off a 26-23 loss. The Pack is coming off a 20-30 win. Hank, what are you thinking?
This is going to be a depressing trip for the Jaguars, I can tell you that. They're going to be cold, they're going to be miserable, and they're going to get beat to death.
Why don't they save a lot of money and just put Maurice Jones-Drew on a plane and let him just see how far he can run? Because that's basically what's going to happen.
No, he's done. He's not playing this week.
Ooh.
Jennings. That's the big story. Jennings is out on the waiver wire, I'm sure, in most of the leagues, and he is going to be picked up because Maurice Jones-Drew is out this week. He is out, foot injury. And they don't know when he's going to come back. But
people, I have another job, so I'm sorry. I also have a 6-month-old at home. So I'm sorry that as a host of the show, I missed that little fact. I'm going to fire my assistant.
Wait.
Well, Chris, can I get an assistant? I need to get one first. That's what I need. Then I can fire her.
I just think the Packers are going to roll. I mean, it's just like the Pats, just like the Saints. You know, the Packers are the same way. They have weapons everywhere. Jordy Nelson, Jennings. I mean, they can put any back behind Aaron Rodgers, and they're going to produce. Just for the simple fact that you have to be scared of the tight end. You have to be scared of three receivers. They're going to go downfield, which is going to open up the run. And the Jaguars and Blaine Gabbert have no answer.
None whatsoever. Hank, I'm going to totally agree with you on this one. I don't think there's any more to say about this game. Let's move on to the next one. A bunch of fresh legs in this game. Both teams coming off byes. Eagles, Falcons. Falcons traveling up to Philly, the city of brotherly love, which there will be none. There's some rivalry between the two bird teams. I tell you what, Atlanta, only undefeated team left in NFL, 6-0. No, 6-0, 7-0, 6-0. 6-0, looking strong. And yes, as I've talked about in weeks past, Michael Turner. The Turner burner. I know he was my first round pick. So I got mocked at, but look, he's produced. He's going to be a touchdown magnet. He's a bowling ball. He's slow as hell. But all 250 pounds of him, you can't stop him. No. I like Matty Ice, Tony Gonzalez, Julio Jones, Roddy White. They have they're hitting on all cylinders right now. Defense, offense, the dirty bird is back in effect in Atlanta.
Gonzalez is 48 years old, I think.
It's still producing.
He is
still producing.
He is by far the most productive tight end in the NFL right now because they look for him.
Whoa. Hey. That's not most productive? That's a strong statement right there.
I'm just telling you, as a fantasy owner, he is giving you...
Okay, I would give you... He's a solid pick.
10 points at 75 years old.
But I noticed the dunking the goalpost have turned the finger rolls now.
He's finger rolling the goalpost. He's doing the up and under. Hey, give the guys a break.
All right, Hank. Eagles Falcons. What do you think?
I think with Michael Vick's fumbleitis and tendency to throw.
Dude, I think he's been concussed one too many times.
He has a tendency to throw to the wrong jersey. So I think that the Falcons roll on this game. Well, not roll. Let me rephrase it. I think that they don't put in a lot of effort to win this game just because the Eagles are going to hand it to them, unfortunately, because there's a lot of good players on that team, and I know that Michael Vick would love to stick it to Atlanta, but I think that they're just playing too well, and this week off is just giving them another time to look at their game plan.
I agree with you. And one thing I've noticed lately, if some of those scores in my league and another league I keep up with, is the offensive production seems to be a little down. Macklin, LaShawn McCoy, you don't see Deshaun Jackson. You don't see that many fantasy points.
Sean Jackson has not done very well.
He's not. And you see, I don't know, there's something going on in Philly. I think it's a minor version of the New York Jets. Minor version. I mean, there's no Eva Longoria in there. But, yes, it's a minor version of New York Jets right now. I think the Falcons are going to roll big in this game. This is going to be a unhappy Eagles team when after Atlanta leaves. Moving along, let's talk about – oh, hitting the microphone, man. I got to get used to this area over here. Let's talk about the Steelers' Skins. Skins coming off a 23-27 loss. Steelers coming off a 24-17 win, which it's a heartbreaking win. It was hard. Oh, my poor Bengals. Anyway, Hank, Steelers Skins, what do you think?
I really like RG3. I think that he is exciting. I've always said that if Michael Vick could not take you to a championship, being an athletic quarterback, it's going to be tough for anybody because he is by far the most athletic quarterback we've ever seen, I believe. Okay? But RG3 is good. He is good, and I enjoy watching him play. I think the Steelers would be much better if they didn't have such a merry-go-round going on in their backfield. I mean, Mendenhall's here, then Redmond's out, then Dwyer.
Yeah.
So, there's no consistency there. So I just find I like what the Redskins are doing. I don't know what the line is, but I got to tell you, I feel like RG3 is – This is going to be the one that I would like to see because I feel like he's going to perform this game, and I like them.
You know what? I'm gonna agree with you. I really do like the Steelers in this matchup. I know there's a merry-go-round in Pittsburgh right now, but I still think the AFC North's not going through Pittsburgh as it used to. Honestly, right now, the way the drumming that the Ravens got, I don't know where it's going. I still like Steelers to come out of this division. I don't think the Skins right now, I know Alfred Morse has been running hard. I just don't think that the Skins are matched up for the Steelers right now. The Steelers are still just a little bit better team. I think the Steelers are going to roll this one and roll big in this one. Moving right along, next matchup, the Seahawks traveling to the Motor City. Seahawks coming off a 6-13 loss. Lions come off another loss as well. It's 13-7 loss. Hank, Seahawks Lions, what do you think?
Well, the Seahawks, they just ran into a big defense last week. 49ers have proven to be just they stop everybody. So I think that they just got outmatched on defense. And the Lions, they are atrocious.
Dude, what happened to Megatron?
I mean, you can't throw touchdowns from your back. And Matt Stafford was running for his life.
And speaking of running back merry-go-round, who's starting this week for Detroit?
Who knows?
They had, all right, you start out, right, Bess is gone. You had the couch potato, Kevin Smith, who's not there anymore. Then you got LaShore, but LaShore hadn't shut up. He's either hit and miss. I don't know. He's probably who's running the ball? Who's running the ball in Detroit?
Right now, it's nobody. And if you can't get it in Megatron's hands, that's why receivers are so hit and miss, especially for fantasy, is because, you can lock down a receiver if there's no other option.
Right.
And that's what's happened to Megatron.
Good point, Hank. Good point. All right, I tell you what, I think the Lions, I like the Seahawks. I'm sorry. I like the Seahawks cover this. I think Seahawks got a lot of good things going. Russell Wilson has shown a phenomenal talent to lead the young Seahawks as rookie. I like the Seahawks in this one. Detroit's just floundering a little bit. I think the Seahawks will definitely walk away with the W in this one. Moving along, the Panthers, Bears. Panthers. Oh, do you want to take this one, Hank? The Panthers, the poor Panthers.
I hate to talk about the Panthers.
I don't. Do you want me to do it? All right, you Panthers fans, look, I know there are a lot of you listening to our show, but I mean, what? How is it? Outside this, I own my own business. All right. If I invested close to $90 million in a piece of machinery or equipment, by God, I'm going to use the hell out of it. Every day of the week, twice on Sunday, I'm going to use it. Why in the hell are the Panthers not running the ball down the throat? I give them a little piece of J. Stu, a little piece of D'Angelo, then let Cam do his thing. How do you drop $90 million in the backfield and not use it?
The unfortunate thing is Cam Newton is not, is the option. And I think that that's been part of the problem is that, if that is the run play. Drops back, looks at option 1, looks at option 2. He's gone. He's gone.
The run the ball.
Yeah, I agree.
Run the ball, and that frees him up. When you go, I just don't get it. I mean, the pass sets up the run so far. I mean, they're not running the ball at all.
No, they're not.
Not past Steve Smith's been inept. LaFell's had some glimmers of hopes. Murphy's, it's nothing. And can't look. He's talented. He can run. He can produce. But the play calling in Carolina right now is atrocious.
It is.
Run the ball.
Did you say atrocious?
Atrocious? Ferocious? What is it? Atrocious? Atrocious?
Atrocious?
Atrocious?
That was awesome.
That's another new word. Second one today. That could be a record on a podcast. All right, the Panthers playing the Bears. Oh, my Lord. And the Bears are coming off a 13-7 win.
That defense looks awesome.
Yes, they do. And the Panthers are traveling up to Chicago to face Julius Peppers. And that defense, they don't stand a snowball's chance.
I got to tell you, I would hate for that man to chase me down.
I mean, the Panthers are going this week going, damn, we got to go to Chicago.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing right now.
It's scary up there.
After this debacle, I'm gonna make I know Marty Herney got fired this week as a general manager. I'm gonna make a plea to Ron Rivera as a coach. Run the ball. We know Cam can throw. We know the option. Run the ball. I don't care if you run draws, count, run the ball.
You know what this is, though? I mean, it really tells a story about the NFL. Is you can fool people for a year. And that's what Cam did. I mean, he fooled people for a year. And that's,
I agree.
And it's, you can't do it all the time. His dog and pony show is up, and they have got to figure it out. And it comes down to, like you said, running the ball, having good pass plays.
But look at Washington. Be a prime example. You can look stat wise. Look at Alfred Morris. I mean, you have a running game in Washington with a Cam Newton style quarterback with RG3, and he's producing. And you have a running back that's going out getting 100 yards on top of your quarterback.
Right.
Now, if their defense were worth a damn, then they probably have a little bit better record, better than 3-4. But I don't understand it. I'm making a plea: run the ball. Panthers.
You're listening.
I mean, I don't know. I just hate they're going to Chicago. This is not a week to start running the ball. But look, you got 90. If I had 90 million invested in the backfield, run the ball.
Run the ball.
I don't care.
Good point.
Moving along. Let's next week. This matchup: Raiders.
Yes.
The Raiders. Coming off a 26-23 win, will face. They're traveling to Kansas City, the second home of second best place in the country for barbecue, behind Lexington, North Carolina. The Chiefs are coming off a bye. Hank, Raiders, Chiefs.
I'm a Raiders fan. I got to tell you.
That's fine.
I'm a Raiders fan.
You got the white out. I see you're sporting the Al Davis white jumpsuit.
Yeah, I do have it on with the glasses chain around the back. The thing is Carson. They needed a Carson Palmer. They were riding that athletic quarterback train with Jamarcus Russell, and then who's the guy that's the backup in Chicago now? That was it, Washington. I can't remember his name, but he was there for a couple of years and just was not the type of football that they were accustomed to playing. They've got Carson Palmer's in there setting up Darren McFadden. They've got some receivers that are good, talented receivers.
Demaris Moore, and then you had the Hayward Bay.
Bay.
Both of them are capable of putting up huge numbers.
Capable. You're exactly right. And I feel like they're setting themselves up to be a good team. Not a great team, but a good team. And so I think the Chiefs, on the other hand, anybody can walk into the Patriots line. Not anybody, let me rephrase that. But Cobb walked into the Patriots lineup after Brady got hurt and had a lot of great play calling, had a great personnel around him. He looked great. He came here and has not shown those same glimpses.
They're throwing the ball as far as fantasy goes. I think Carson Palmer with the bye weeks. I think he's a good option. They're definitely going to throw the ball.
Yeah. Even
with McFadden back there, they're doing a lot more outlet passes. I think, if I'm not mistaken, McFadden got targeted like 8 times last week. They're throwing the ball, so it's a fantasy option. Now, you're prone to a lot of interceptions of Carson Palmer.
Right. Because
I don't know if he needs to wear glasses, but his targeting of passes is not very accurate. When he misses by a long shot. Now, I grant you got to throw the ball in spots. If you don't want to if you got to put it where they catch it or not where they catch it, the defender can't catch it at all.
Right.
But Carson Palmer's throwing the ball. He can go out there any given Sunday. Throw up 400 yards.
Right.
Any given Sunday. So you're taking this game?
I'm taking the Raiders.
Raiders.
Yep. And even with Jamal Charles, he's hit or miss. He'll have a great game. He'll have a bad game. He'll have a great game.
Who's the quarterback at Kansas City? I don't even know. Castle's out. I thought Castle was out.
Yeah, it's Cobb, right?
Is it Cobb?
Yeah.
Really?
I think. We're going to have to look at that.
Yeah, you need to look that one up. I don't know. All right. Let's move on to the next matchup. Giants-Cowboys. This is the big one. We got a lot of people, a lot of Cowboys fans, a lot of Giants fans. Let me tell you, people, I am riding the Eli Manning fantasy train. This man it's fun to watch football. Twice this year, he's putting up dismal points. And then all of a sudden, there's a Victor Cruz sighting. Sprinting down the field, 75, 80 yards, touchdown. There's 15, 16 points. Boom, solidifying your win. I am loving the Eli Manning train right now. I don't think the boys have got anything for it. I think they're still – look, Romo looked a little better last week in this matchup. I like New York in this matchup. Their defense is hitting all cylinders. Their offense is sputtering a little bit. But Eli comes to – he's the best clutch quarterback in the game right now.
I agree.
Hands down.
He does not get the credit that he is due.
No.
Two-time Super Bowl quarterback. His brother, with his brother, he's
4 MVPs, true. But Eli Hall of Fame? Is he a Hall of Fame quarterback?
I think he is.
Oh, what's that? Chris? Eli Manning, Hall of Fame quarterback? You think so?
I mean,
Peyton obviously is. We know that. Peyton's given. Now, Eli, 2-time MVP. Now, look at Kurt Warner. I think did he finally get in? Kurt Warner he hasn't got in yet, has he? Because it's snubbed. It's these some of these quarterbacks are almost like, and I hate to say this, are like the kickers. I don't know why they even have a Hall of Fame. If you don't have every position represented in the Hall of Fame, why have a Hall of Fame? I don't understand that. But anyway, I digress. Giants, Cowboys. I think Giants are going to roll this game. Hank, give me your opinion on it.
I agree with you. I think that he is one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. I think he is consistent. He flies under the radar, and he is going to win. And the Cowboys, the defense, they're known for their defense, and their defense just isn't producing. So I like the Giants as well. And just as a side note, I looked up the Chiefs, and it doesn't look good. Brady Quinn.
Oh, GQ cover boy. The GQ cover boy.
That is correct.
Wow.
He is starting.
The Hunchback of Notre Dame is going to be showing his face. Wow. Brady Quinn side. That's excellent. Good work, Hank. Back to this, Giants. I tell you what, people. You can go pick up on your waiver wire this week and look. Almost any receiver on the Jet squad. You got Hickson, of course, Cruz. Some of these people, Hickson, Martellus Bennett, the backup tight end has been getting some looks as well. They are throwing the ball with the bye weeks fancy options. Sometimes you could be limited. Go pick up some Jets or Giants players.
Find a Giant.
Yeah, find a Giant. You'll be good. Giants roll big in this game. Next matchup: Saints Broncos. Are they the Aints still? Are we going to call them the Saints? Because start of the year, I would have bet you my house. If you told me the Saints were going to start out 0-4,
right?
I said, I'll bet you my house. Right. I would have. I think 99.9% of people that follow football ain't going to start 0-4.
Right.
Drew Brees, no, there's no way.
Same weapons they had last year.
Same weapons, I know. They're traveling to the Mile High City to place Peyton and the Broncos, who have been firing on cylinders. The Broncos come off bye. The Saints are coming off a 35-28 win, a 35-25 win. Hank, what are you thinking?
I tell you, I feel bad for anybody that's in front of the Saints right now. I feel like they got
Vito.
The corner.
They got Vito back.
They have turned the corner, and they are going to play well. Now, that's not to take away, just like in the same breath that I said with his brother, Peyton, he plays to win. And so I think it's going to be a good game. But I think the Saints are figuring it out without Peyton, without the defense that they've had there. I think it's hard to keep Breeze has won everywhere. And I think Breeze and the tools that he has around him are going to be hard to deny. I like the Saints in this game. You
know what? I'm gonna have to go against you on this. I like the last. I know the one the Broncos come off by. They're gonna have some fresh legs. The running game I wish was a little better in Denver. But right now, Peyton has got that receiving core hitting on all cylinders. He's picking people apart. The comeback the other week was one of the most spectacular things I've ever seen in sports. That was unbelievable. Now, Phillip Rivers had a complete and utter meltdown, but to lead that team, march that team down the field like he did was absolutely fantastic. I think they're going to be the Aints this week. I think Peyton's going to get it done when Saints come calling. Monday night game, last game, we had the 49ers come off a 13-6 win against the Seahawks, visiting the Cardinals, who were coming off a 21-14 loss. Hank, what are you thinking?
49ers defense is sick, and I like them. I've listened to this show forever. And your optimal player
I love Beanie Wells, man.
Is Beanie Wells.
Look, he had, 1,300 yards like a year or so? I don't know. It was a glory year.
And I think the Cardinals have been playing well. But, anytime your quarterback's name is Skelton.
Helter Skelter, baby.
You're going to have a tough. I like the 49ers in this game. I think their defense are playing well. They're going to be they're the Ravens of this year. Their defense are playing. If they put up 14 points, if they put up 10 points, they have a chance of winning. So I think it's going to be a brutal game to watch. But I think that the 49ers end up winning.
Well, I have been an advocate, if you listen to the show, of LeRod Stevens-Howie. I've talked about him. I think Beanie Wells and Ryan Williams were just debacles for him. Like, it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time. It's a matter of time. Well, I had him. Started him 2 weeks ago. Didn't do dick and nothing. Scrub. And then I'm watching the games, and all of a sudden, here it comes. Red zone. Here comes red zone scoring update. LeRod. 104 yards, touchdown, has a great fantasy game. But he's available on a lot of the on most of your waiver wires. This is a game I probably wouldn't start him.
Right.
Against Justin Smith and that defense. I mean, that defense is phenomenal.
But you can store him on your bench.
No, I would store him on his bench. I think he's going to ride out the year. Ryan Williams, I think his job to lose. They do have that rookie behind him, so I think they're comfortable with doing switching Howlings being the first and second down back and bringing in, I think Powell's his name, as third down back. Two great young running backs. But I think they're going to run to the steel curtain, so to speak, or the iron, what do you want to call it, the rice-a-roni curtain, San Francisco, whatever you want to call it. They're going to run into that thing. Curtain. Yeah, they're going to run into the trolley car and just come to a dead halt. San Francisco will be huge this game. All right, Hank, we're going to take a little break. Have our sponsors give everybody a shout-out, and we'll be back here shortly.
Main Cellar City Club, Hickory's premier music venue, is the place to go for music events, wedding dinners or receptions, company retreats, reunions, and more. Contact Main Cellar at 828-345-6246 or find us on Facebook and Twitter for all your entertainment updates.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back after a short little break. This week with our guest co-host, Mr. Hank Eimer. Hank, by the way, I want to tell you something before we go into your optimal fantasy lineup. Went out to the Rock Barn Golf and Spa last night. Met one of the iconic legends of sports broadcasting.
Really?
Tim Brando.
Wow. Would have been nice to have him here instead of me, huh?
Yeah, actually, sorry. You weren't the first on the list there. But I will tell you what. I mean, he was very approachable. Talked about the podcast for a little bit, and I'm gonna make a call. I want Tim Brando to call into the show, email into the show, give us some feedback. Either tell us how bad we suck, or tell us how great that this is what legends are made of.
That would,
which I think it's going to be the latter.
I would take you to another stratosphere.
It would. I mean, we're the fastest growing podcast in Western North Carolina, so I mean, I can't see how he can say that. We blow. I can't see it. But I want to say it was a pleasure meeting him last night, and I listened to some of his shows. There's a reason why he's a professional. I mean, he's got one of the most iconic voices. When you watch college basketball and you hear his voice, you know you're watching the tournament. Right. You know it. And it was a pleasure meeting him. Hear some of the stories last night. It was absolutely fantastic. So, Tim, thank you for the opportunity to chat with you. And I'm gonna.
Can I make a plea? If you do send him a podcast, make sure Chad's on it too.
What? Wait. You don't think? I feel like you've done a great job.
I feel like this has been great.
I mean, I like the banter that we're getting. I mean, Chad plays. He rings his little. I just looked over. I didn't see the bell the whole time. Chad, this is for you, buddy. That was for you, Chad.
I've enjoyed this.
I
It's
have
been
too.
very pleasant.
It's been fun.
It has.
I mean, as we're talking, I see Chris writing the pink slip. I don't see whose name's on it, but let me look real quick. Though. See, Chad, it happens, buddy. It happens. Economy stuff, man. Economy stuff. All right now we're gonna go into
Optimal Fantasy Lineup of the Week.
Hank, as our guest co-host, is going to dazzle us with the best people for the spots this week with the matchups. Hank, dazzle me.
You know what?
No, I don't. That's what I'm asking.
I took a lot of time thinking about this, and a lot of these
like right before the show.
right before the show. And the one thing is, a lot of these positions you didn't need to think long and hard about.
No.
Quarterback, if you could pick one, I'd pick Tom Brady. Okay. He's facing the Rams. I know that
Yes.
you said that you
No,
like
it's a great
their
matchup.
backfield.
It's a great
You
matchup.
like their backfield. I like Tom Brady. I think that he is going to find his way to 40 points this week.
40 fantasy points this week.
40 fantasy points. He's going to grind.
That's a big number.
He's going to grind. Watch it.
Wow.
Okay?
All right.
Now, when we get into the running backs, I wish with all my heart that the Bills were playing this week, because I would just go straight to the running back that was playing the Bills.
Fred Jack. Oh,
Well, they're not.
they're not. No.
They're not playing. No, I would pick who is playing the Bills because they made Chris Johnson look so good.
True.
But the Chiefs have the ability to do the same thing, and that's why Darren McFadden is my RB1. Okay,
Good call. I like that.
I think Darren McFadden is going to have a good matchup this week. I think, like we talked about, Carson Palmer is going to open up the field, and it's going to allow him some lanes to run in. RB2, and I hate to do this, Forte. That guy is a big, mean dude.
Against a
Struggling Panthers.
struggling. That is a understatement, but go ahead.
Okay, so I like Matt Forte going right down the middle and beating people up. So I think he is going to be a good start for people.
I like that. It's a good pick.
Wide receiver 1. Watch me, Edison.
Okay, hold up. Ladies and gentlemen, Hank is actually standing up doing the Victor Cruz in the studio.
There it is. Victor Cruz.
Chad, you were officially gone. He has added animation. We're on the radio, and he's standing up dancing. Let me hold up. There you go, people.
Victor Cruz is going to continue, and he is making these big catches, and your boy is going to keep throwing it to it, Eli Manning.
I like
He is
that.
going
I like
to
that.
throw to Victor Cruz. Wide receiver 2, Vincent Jackson. I like Freeman. I like what his relationship with Jackson. Jackson's coming off a 200-yard game. I feel like they're just going to keep this relationship going. He's playing the Vikings, which is not the most formidable defense. I think that he's going to have a good game. My flex. A lot of times I like to put a running back in there, but man, with the Packers facing the Jaguars, Jordy Nelson is going to be nice.
Oh, man, Jordy Nelson has put up some serious friggin' numbers.
Serious. But half of them are in one game.
I think he's like the leading receiver in fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, he had a bunch of touchdowns in that one game. But I like him versus the Jags. Great option at your flex. Tight end. I'm going with him. He's 85 years old.
Tony Gonzalez.
I dig it.
The finger roll over the goalpost.
I think that guy is going to have a good day against the Eagles because I think they've got good DBs.
The boy can finger roll.
They've got good DB. I mean, they get a good backfield too.
I like that.
And I think
like
they're
that
going to
thing.
have to dump it off short. I think he gets a lot of catches. I like Tony Gonzalez as your tight end. And your defense. They have been doing it time and time again, and they are playing the Cardinals, San Francisco.
Can't go wrong. Cannot go wrong with that defense.
Start them if you have them, and don't look anywhere else.
All right, look, I was paying attention to what you were. I really was. I value your opinion. But this is about me right now. I'm looking on my team. I need to pick a defense. As you're knowledgeable, you're known as the fantasy Nostradamus.
Thank you.
I need defense. Both my defenses. Yes, I carry two.
Are on bye?
On bye.
That sounds like poor planning.
Look, if my defense is the only thing that's on bye, I'll take it. Defenses are come a dime a dozen. Actually, they don't. That's a bad saying because they don't, because there's only 28 of them, and you got 12 people. That means that leaves, what, 28 minus 12? That's 18. 16 defenses to pick
He's
from.
doing math, ladies and gentlemen, and you should have seen his hat.
Stand back.
His hat almost exploded. His head was struggling so much.
I don't know who to pick. I mean, Browns. Would you take Browns versus San Diego? No.
Who else is available?
Broncos, Rams,
The
Dolphins.
Broncos are a good D, but the Broncos are also playing
New Orleans.
So I would rather not have that matchup. I mean, the Browns aren't a terrible.
How about the Dolphins? Dolphins versus the Jets.
I don't know. I kind of like. I mean, I like the Browns. They've scored a couple defensive touchdowns.
How about Titans versus Indianapolis?
Now that's not a bad idea.
Luck's been putting up some. Well, I don't know. All right, that's what we're gonna.
He had 2 rushing touchdowns last week.
Yeah, no, that's true. All right, that's what we're doing.
Are you setting your lineup on?
Yeah, I'm picking a defense as we speak right now.
Okay.
I'm dropping Houday, Cincinnati Bengals defense. Putting in conditionally. Is that it's conditionally? Yeah, we're not done yet. Okay. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
Back on track.
Yeah, practice on your own time. I understand that.
Back on track.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Next, we're going to step into a segment. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get some out of the way right now. I'm going to thank some more of our sponsors. The main Cellar City Club in downtown Hickory, one of the best music and event venues in Hickory. You got some big events coming up. The Little River Band is coming here.
Wow.
I'm a big fan.
Wow.
I am a big fan. And Hank, I know you have their cassette in your car. Bad Company. Bad Company will be
Bad Company.
Yeah, I know everybody has look. Everybody jammed out of Bad Company.
I love it.
In the car at least once.
I love it.
But you can visit the website, check out their full schedule of events at www.maincellarcityclub.com. Again, thank you to the Main Cellar City Club as our sponsor. Let's get right back into the show for one of our segments that Chad, our former co-host, I say it out loud, sorry, came up with. It is, and I'm not going to do this. His stupid
trade or not to
Why'd you even
trade?
waste it? Why'd you waste digital recording on that stupid? Come on. All right, it's called trade or not to trade. Wow. See, it's simple. That's all you got to say: trade or not trade.
That was plain.
Exactly. All right, check the emails before I came in. Steven in Dallas, Texas.
Wow.
Yes. Hank, Alfred Morris for Ahmad Bradshaw.
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Absolutely
Speak on it, son.
not. Okay, the reason why I say this is I would not get rid of Ahmad Bradshaw because of the team dynamic. You know that the passing is going to be there.
But Alfred Morris is producing.
So is Ahmad Bradshaw.
Yeah, well, true. I'm just saying, look, Steven wants to know. That's all I'm saying.
Steven, listen, I would say Bradshaw, you stick him in your backfield and you're happy. I rode him all the way to the championship last year. I wish I had him on my team. If I had the choice of either one, Ahmad Bradshaw would be my man.
All right. Catherine in Arlington, Virginia, want to know Michael Turner for Reggie Bush. That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
I tell you, Reggie Bush has been so scary because he's had just really one good year.
It's kind of hit and miss week to week with him, but so is Michael Turner.
Michael Turner is, if it comes down to the same philosophy I just used,
right.
Atlanta's the better team, and so it's going to possibly give him better options because he's going to be able to run the ball better.
The pass in this case is up the run and vice versa.
Right.
So what do you say?
I like Michael Turner. Tannehill is not going to give Reggie Bush that many options.
You know what, Catherine? I'm agreeing with Hank on this one. I like Michael Turner. Of course, I drafted him first round. So I'm 5-2. I don't want to hear a thing out of you, Notre Dame. Zip it.
I see losing in your future.
Okay, Chad, I can't wait to get you back. Excuse me. All right, Carl in Raleigh. I think I know this, Carl. Carl in Raleigh, and this is a good one. Mike Williams or Des Bryant. This is a good.
Wow.
I know. What do you think? That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Well, I mean, I think it's really apples to apples kind of deal. I mean, I don't think you're gonna. I think at that point you have to look at matchups.
You look at matchups, and I think I don't see Des Bryant is of course I think the number one still in Texas. Vincent Jackson.
Miles Austin.
It's still Miles. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I see Des Bryant. I just don't. I see Vincent Jackson. I just didn't realize how big Vincent Jackson was.
He's huge.
He's like a tight end.
He's huge.
He's ginormous.
He's huge.
I'll use that one there once. I like Mike Williams. I think he's getting his fair share of looks. He's more consistent. Freeman, I think, one of the best improved quarterbacks in the NFL this year. Dropped 25 pounds. He's looking to either one of those at any given time.
Right.
As we saw, not this week, but last week, Williams throws up 27 in a 11.5-point PPR league, threw up 27.5 points off the drop of a hat. He did nothing all year, but I think his talent's been there, and I think with those two receivers, I'm going to go with Mike Williams.
I don't think that's a bad play. I agree with you.
All right, good.
I like it and it's partially because I like Freeman better than I like Romo.
There you go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, we have wrapped up a whole show without Chad. This could be the first of many. But Chad, no, again, seriously, we hope you get back here soon. Just come on, limp back in here anytime you feel free to. I want to thank my guest host.
It's been a pleasure.
Hank, it's been a pleasure.
I've enjoyed
I'll
every
give
minute.
you
I appreciate it. I've
give you some
enjoyed
bells.
every minute of it. I hope that a little guy gets feeling better soon. But
Chad, you're home with the sniffles.
Dirt Naps. That's his team name. Dirt Naps.
Well, I want Chad. I think really the reason, and I want to say this to the last bonus show, the reason Chad's not here, it's not because he had knee surgery.
Oh.
It's not. He's playing me this week in fantasy, and he's scared.
To death.
He is scared. The little boy is scared. And yes, Chad, there's a microphone in front of me. Not you right now. You are scared. I am looking into him. There's so much hatred brewing right now. Hank's like, you're looking into the microphone.
He's drooling.
I am drooling. I cannot wait to face Chad. Next Tuesday, we're going to find out who was the better man in fantasy. Houday, Addison Fox, or Chad, break a leg, torn ACL East. One of the two. But anyway, thanks again for the support. Go to iTunes, check us out. Go to us, download us. We're getting ready to clear the 6,000 download mark. It's absolutely fantastic, the response we've got from the show. Click and rate us. We need to get some more ratings. But again, everybody, Hank's, thank you again. And Houday, baby.
Feel better, Chad.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.